Today, I am excited to share an amazing experience I recently had thanks to the Joint Cannabis. They organized a product knowledge session for February 2025, presented by Kenzie Knott from Auxly Cannabis Group. Auxly is a licensed producer that supplies quality cannabis products here in Manitoba. In this 30-minute insightful session, we will explore the innovation approaches of Auxly with a special focus on Back 40 and other brands in their lineup. We dive deep into product innovation, processes, the 2-week cure process that ensure top-notch quality, and how Auxly distinguish itself from other large licensed producers.
All right, I've started the recording. You are all good on your end to get started when you are ready here, Kenzie.
Thanks, Tristan.
No worries.
Great to see some solid attendance. I appreciate everyone jumping in to have a quick chat about some of the recently launched products from Auxly, as well as I just got a deck with a few sneak peeks about the products that are launching leading up to summer, so I'll get to plug a few of those. Grateful to be here. I know that often these training sessions can be a little quiet, people are a little shy, but encourage you to jump in. I'll do my best to monitor the chat as I'm going through, but please don't hesitate to come off mic and jump in, share any feedback, any comments, good or bad. Helps me stay in the know in terms of what people are saying about our products out in market. I will jump in. Any questions before we start? Everyone's good to go? All right. A thumbs up from Tristan means we're all good. Okay, so my name is Kenzie. I am the rep for Auxly here in Manitoba as well as Saskatchewan. I've been around for many years in the market. I worked at another LP for a long time where I was really close partners with the Joint, and recently have sort of taken over the Joint again, and really excited to be representing the products from Auxly. Back 40 is just killing it. I'm really proud to represent these products and excited to share a little bit more with y'all. So I'm just going to get my screen going here. Just a quick thumbs up. Yeah, you guys can see that, right?
You betcha.
Okay, cool. All right, so Auxly. Main brands that we represent. Back 40 is sort of our bread and butter, the majority of our portfolio. I am going to get a little bit into some of the Kolab project stuff and what innovation is coming out, what sort of the strategy is with Kolab going forward. But yeah, let's jump into it. So some of these products, they launched sort of February, March, so you maybe have already seen them in store. So I'll give a little bit more talking points on those products specifically. And then I will plug some of the innovation that's coming out in the coming months, which I'm really excited about. So starting off, I'm just going to chat a little bit about the flower portfolio. So we've made huge improvements in terms of the quality of flower. I'm just going to back that up a little bit. That I want to talk a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes and why you've probably seen as well as heard is some quality improvements. But basically what is happening now behind the scenes is that we are hang drying all of our flower. We have added humidity packs into it. But one part of the process, the harvest process that has been implemented at Back 40 that has really changed the game in terms of the actual final quality of the products is that they have implemented a 2-week cure process on their flower. I'm not sure, does anyone want to jump in and chat a little bit about what they might know about sort of what a cure process looks? So we're talking about sort of putting the weed into the jars, burping them every 3 days. Is anyone sort of familiar with that might want to chat a little bit about it? No pressure. Anyone to get in? Basically, this is a process. It kind of, I worked at another LP, and it was something that a lot of large LPs, they want to experiment with implementing a 2-week cure process or a cure process in general in that post-harvest practice. One of the issues with why it's not happening on a large scale is just the way that it slows down the supply chain. It can be really expensive in terms of the time that goes into this cure process. But in terms of this process, what it does is really improves it eliminates how quick your THC degrades in that final process, as well as tends to have a really positive impact on the flower flavor at the end. So in terms of the terp profiles coming out of these flowers, that's sort of like the main reason why we have implemented this, even though it is a really time-consuming and lengthy process for the harvest team. The strains where you maybe have noticed a sort of pivot was the first lot that they started doing this was the Liquid Imagination. So Liquid Imagination was the first strain that we implemented the 2-week cure process, the Fire Breath, and now the Chemzilla. They have gone back. Wedding Pine, Mandarin Cookies are now implementing this process as well. But that sort of Liquid Imagination, not only was it just like an epic genetics that they came out with, but it was that cure process that really took our THC to the next level, as well as our terps to the next level, and just like in general, that final quality. That is sort of the main change that's happened behind the scenes with the Back 40 flower. So Fire Breath is been around for a bit now, kind of a crowd favorite. The new ounces that are coming in are like 32%, just absolutely killing it. I won't go into too much detail on that one because I imagine you guys are decently familiar with it. Just some reviews online about what consumers are saying about Fire Breath. This is our number one product right now in the market. We are seeing some supply constraints here and there. It was like a blip where we ran out of inventory just because the sell-through was just so crazy all of a sudden. But everything is back in stock and we shouldn't have any issues going forward, which is nice. Chatting a little bit about Chemzilla. So I'm super excited. I got the chance to pick this up last week. This is like my favorite flower that we have right now. The cool thing about the Chemzilla is also that it's released in a 14 gram. So historically, Back 40 has sort of, stick to that 7 grams and the 28 grams. You are going to start to see more 14 grams phasing in from us. So the Chemzilla is live in the 14 gram, and the Liquid Imagination just launched last week in the 14 gram as well, which is super exciting. Oh, I see that someone has their hand up. Michelle, if you want to jump in.
Hey, okay, so you were just talking about the Fire Breath, so if we can just go back to that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've bought this ounce a few times, and like I was super excited because the package date was, early January of this year, but it was the driest that I've ever seen, and I've had two different batches.
Okay.
It was so dry that you pick up a nug and it turned to dust.
No.
Yeah, and then each time you ground it up, it was it was all dust. It was very keefy. So like the high was really nice. The flavor was really nice.
But
I was
just significant drop in humidity.
Like I've had Back 40 before. Like the Liquid Imagination was wonderful. Like I loved it. But yeah, I was a little disappointed in the ounce.
That is the first I've heard of this. Michelle, is there any way that do you have any of that flower kicking around?
No. I mean,
I really appreciate you sharing. We smoked it anyways. I don't have any reason on why that would be happening, but I am extremely concerned about that. Okay, so Fire Breath, any chance you would have the lot number on that? No, probably not. Hey?
No.
Okay. I will take that back to the team. I don't know why.
One of the batches was January 8th of this year.
So it was okay, perfect.
So I know that one, but I can't remember the second ounce that I bought. I want to say early February, maybe.
Okay. I honestly have no idea. Obviously, lot things vary. Maybe, I don't know. And sometimes it's hard to be a rep because you don't really get all the information that's going on behind the scenes. So I do appreciate you coming forward with that feedback and apologize for the concern on that. It's not something that I've heard regularly, nor have I seen with the Chemzilla at least, but I will take that back to the team and see if I can get more information on why that might be. If there's any chance that anyone can get me the lot number, sometimes it's just like certain lots that end up, below spec. Do you know what the THC was on it? Any chance?
I think the January 9th one, I think it was around 29%.
Okay. I will take that back to the team and see if I can get any more feedback on it. Does anyone else have you heard anything, feedback from customers about that as well? Like, is that anyone else heard about that?
So far I haven't had any feedback on any of the 7s at all.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. I appreciate that. And again,
no problem.
Bad feedback is good feedback when you're in a position like me. So I really do appreciate you jumping in there. I'll keep rolling a little bit. So the Chemzilla is out. This one is a ChemDog times a Godzilla glue, leaning more, I don't know, I'm experiencing it as more of a hybrid experience, but more of an indica leaning hybrid. Feedback's coming in positive. It's nice to see some grow shots of the hang dry. Very frosty, very like almost like sour off the nose when I opened the bag, which I really liked. Top terpenes being caryophyllene, limonene, and hubeline in this one. Chemzilla. And then the liquid will be coming in shortly. Moving on, I'll chat a little bit about the infused pre-rolls from Back 40. So you're going to start to see more infused pre-rolls coming into the portfolio from us. Obviously, there's a huge opportunity there, especially with pre-roll season coming in hot. I'll talk a little bit about, the initial launches of Frosted Icicle, some improvements we've made along the way, as well as we can get into a little bit about what the future of the Frosted Icicles looks like from us. So to start off from a conceptual standpoint, they're called Frosted Icicles. The idea is that rather than a keef coating, they've done diamonds on the outside, a little bit more of a premium experience. The original Frosted Icicles that launched, they were in a 1 gram. So there was the white freeze as well as the 2-pack with the 1 grams. And then now they're coming out with the 0.5 gram, the 0.5 times 5 grams, which is exciting to see. Obviously a category that's quite trendy right now. What they are committing to in these, and also these, smoking the diamonds can be quite resiny, can be a little bit difficult, especially in the cold weather. So if there's ever been any clogging issues, they have taken the feedback back after the initial lot and sort of reformulated them so that they're not quite as dense. So if you've had any issues with burning, they have sort of reformulated these and they shouldn't have the same issues going forward. And generally speaking, oh, you do have pictures. Oh, yes. Please, Michelle, can you send it to me via email? Or if you want to fire it off to Tristan and Tristan can fire it off to me, that would be excellent.
That sounds perfect.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. So with the infused pre-rolls, so they are also infused with distillate, which creates that flavor as well as diamonds on the inside. Smoking distillate can be a little harsh. I'm sure anyone that's smoked liquid diamonds over the last little while kind of knows what I mean, especially when they are infused in a pre-roll. So rather than, sometimes we see people using sort of their low grade, low THC flower, the leftover stuff that they couldn't sell through, and then they just pack it with tons of distillate to up that potency and get them sold, right? What Back 40 is committing to is at least 28% THC flower going into all of these pre-rolls. So the price point is a little bit higher than some other companies out there. We can say that transparently. You guys see the menu, you know that. But that is just because they are putting their high-grade flower into this so that they can keep the amount of distillate that's in them a little bit lower. So you're still getting that flavor hit, but they are a lot more weed flavor forward than a lot of other distillate infused pre-rolls. This will make for a better experience in terms of the actual high, a smoother inhalation, as well as helps reduce the amount of clogging that happens, makes them a little bit easier to relight if you are going to go back and smoke them again. So that is the sour cherry. This one is indica dominant, sorry. THC is always hovering in around that 40% mark. Again, we do see some infused pre-rolls, especially infused with diamonds that are up 50% and whatnot. But this was kind of the sweet mark where we could get that good flower, infuse them properly for a quality smoking experience. So that's kind of the deets on what's up with Frosted Icicles. The iced grape, another flavor, again in the 5 by 0.5. This one's sativa leaning, a little bit of that icy cool. on this one again, which, you know, some people are hit and miss when it comes to anything that's iced. I'm a big fan of it because I do find that it's a little bit smoother on my throat, but I do know it's not for everybody. So keep that in mind when you're selling them. If, you know, maybe even just asking the question if a customer likes an iced experience, just to make sure that you're not selling something that, you know, people aren't going to really love. So that is the iced grape. In the next deck, I will take you through sort of what the future of this lineup looks like from us, but very excited to start playing in the infused pre-roll category, especially heading into summer. The good old all-in-ones, the bread and butter, a reliable distillate all-in-one. These are top performing across the market. Very reliable in terms of the actual hardware. Like the return rate is just like remarkably low compared to a lot of the competition in this category. I think they hit the mark with the design. People are attracted to them because of the design, but they come back for them because the flavors always hit and the hardware is definitely reliable. So we're gonna, you know, the innovation of cannabis is ever evolving. People want to try what's new. So I'm really impressed with the amount of innovation, one that Auxly bumps out. Like, it makes my life so easy when I constantly have new things to think of, to talk about, think about. You can kind of expect every 3 months or so that we'll probably have 1 or 2 new all-in-ones, and we'll keep sort of, you know, phasing out some of the old flavors and bringing in new flavors just to make sure that everyone, you know, gets something new. That I'm going to skip over. So this is the most recent drop from the all-in-one category, which is called the Razzle Dazzle. This one is a raspberry vanilla flavor. Pretty generic if we're talking about distillate. I won't get into it too much. I'm sure you guys are all familiar. Very much just comes down to a sort of a flavor as well as a hardware experience. Noting that this one is derived from an indica flower. It is categorized as an indica dominant. A lot of the all-in-ones over the last year or so have been very sativa forward, so I'm really excited that we have another indica offering in this category, and we will plug some of the new ones that are coming for summer in the next little bit. Moving, I guess. What? Oh, did someone jump on? Oh, sorry, Michelle. I'm looking at the comments in here. Yeah, not a single person complained about back 40. I love the device is so impressive. Like, I am really lucky to be representing this product, and not only is it like a big category now, you know, like even we see similar trends in the nicotine vapes that the all-in-ones are just growing and growing. Like, more people are coming for them. I know every LP is totally coming after us, trying to beat us in this category. Like, we've just absolutely dominated over the last year in this, so everyone's coming for us, but I haven't seen a device that's performing better than ours yet. So yeah, they nailed it. I agree with you. And moving on to Kolab projects. So before I jump into the SKU specifically, I'll talk a little bit about the strategy of Kolab and what you can expect going forward. So back 40 is, you know, more of that everyday low pricing strategy. That's your generic consumer. A lot of the Manitobans love the back 40 stuff. Kolab is just a slight step up for that. Very similar, same company designing the hardware and whatnot. But Kolab is going to be where all of our liquid diamonds live. So back 40 will continue with that focus of distillate, flavor forward, launching tons of new innovation. Kolab's where we're going to start playing with more of the liquid diamonds. So you're going to start to see lots of cool stuff coming out from this brand. So same company, it's sort of like meant to be a spin-off of that back 40 with the hardware. They've come out with liquid diamonds, the golden papaya, the white grape, and the pure diamonds. Smoother experience in comparison to the distillate in terms of your throat, the higher THC, and a little bit more cannabis flavor forward in comparison to back 40. Back 40 is meant to hit you with that flavor. You know, it's for that customer. Specifically the pure diamonds. If you have someone coming in that's like, I want a vape, but I don't want all those artificial flavorings. There's no botanical terps added into the pure diamonds, which means there's no flavoring additives added into it. I'm not sure if anyone's ever had a chance to try the pure diamonds, but this product is like my favorite. And the white grape is also killing it. Golden papaya slightly behind that. I'll also speak transparently about the first drop of this. Like any innovation, a company's coming out with new products. Liquid diamonds is like a new thing to us. The first launch of the golden papaya specifically was too thick, so there were some issues with pull through. They have taken it back, adjusted the formula slightly, and we are not seeing the return rates that we once saw on that golden papaya. But nonetheless, been a really reliable product in the liquid diamond all-in-one category. I'm obsessed with pure diamonds. It tastes like a volcano rip to me. The THC is ridiculous. And it's just a really great offer for those people who are looking for a vape but don't want those artificial flavors. Yeah. And also, sometimes I think other people are mixing liquid diamonds with distillate and just to make it a little bit cheaper and easier, noting that these are pure liquid diamond formulations, that this is going to be a very organic experience with these ones. In regards to the hardware themselves, so liquid diamonds in itself is a little bit thicker than distillate, meaning that which is why we put the preheat. So the button that you see on the front of this device, it is not needed. You do not need to click the button to inhale on it. It is auto inhale in a similar way to the back 40 ones. It's really just there if you want to double click it just to warm it up before you hit it. It's not necessary. I never use my preheat. It's not needed, but it is there. If it gets maybe to the bottom, making sure that the customer is able to sort of get to the bottom of that liquid diamonds. They can preheat it if they find that first inhale didn't quite give them the rip that they were looking for. As well as if you hold down the button for 2 seconds, you can actually adjust the voltage setting. So there's 2 voltage settings on this device. There's 2.5 if you're looking for a little bit more flavor forward, or there's the 3.5 that is going to blow a bigger cloud. The device will automatically come set to that 3.5, so the higher voltage setting. I just leave it there. I never really play around with the button. Just let customers know that the button, you don't need it for anything. It's just kind of like an added bonus. But customers do have the ability to adjust that voltage if they want to. Yeah, any questions? I'm really also proud of these products, proud to represent them. The hardware's been reliable and the flavor's really good. Any questions? I will give you a sneak peek about the next drop coming from this lineup, and I'm very excited about it. And we are coming out with 510s and the liquid diamonds as well. So you've probably seen these flavors before. These were the flavors that we had in the distillate carts. The pink lychee, the guava OG, and the yuzu honey. At this point, the pink lychee is available. The yuzu honey is available. They're all coming in 95% THC. Same concept with the liquid diamonds. The actual, if anyone's ever had a 510 from Kolab, they've been priced pretty high over the last few months. So they have taken the price down quite a bit. So hopefully it's a little bit more attractive for your customers that are coming in looking for liquid diamonds. But it's like a premium 510. The actual material, is like a heavy weighted metal. It feels like a premium device when you actually hold it. I'm smoking the yuzu honey right now. It tastes like cereal, great high, great flavor. Really proud of these ones as well. And we are going to continue to come out with more 510s, keeping up with the innovation trends. Foray. So this is a new one. We're going to start playing around with more minor cannabinoids. I think, back 40s, solid in their flower, solid in their vape offerings. But Foray is where we're going to start to play around with more minor cannabinoids coming up. So this is the new Foray Sidekick. I love the design. Got the device recently. It's so cute. It's so nice. So it's 1,000 milligrams of THC and 325 of CBG and CBD. This one also is meant to be not super flavor forward. It's a lot of more cannabis focused flavoring. It's got a very subtle sort of citrusy, slight mint. I don't even really get mint, but they call it citrus mint. This is actually a 2 gram. Again, it's got that preheat, so you can double click that, warm it up. I haven't needed to use it yet, but it is there. I think maybe when you get down to the bottom of it, making sure that you can get to the bottom of that 2 gram, the preheat might come in handy. But discreet, reliable, rechargeable. Same company making the hardware as our other devices as well. I will move on for the sake of time before we run out. Let's take a peek at what is coming. This is like, this deck is a little more less fancy because it just came out, but here we go. We're coming out with backpackers, which are going to be 10 packs times 0.75 in a straight cut format. So these are almost like the size of a cigarette, but they are going to be doing them in hemp paper, which I'm really excited about. Getting a little bit differentiating itself from the slims that are obviously super popular, but nonetheless having the hemp paper is huge. They're actually going to be, the first couple lots will be coming in these tins specifically. Eventually they're going to phase back to just like a regular cardboard, but it allows people to sort of have this premium experience right off the hop. So that will be the Liquid Imagination coming out in the backpackers, as well as the Fire Breath. These will be coming, I think probably June is the timeline that we're looking at right now. So excited to have a new offering with a larger, just a larger pre-roll in the 10 packs. Moving on, this is the next flavor. We've got the Strawberry Pink all-in-one vape coming. This is going to be categorized as a hybrid. The next drop will be the Blue Raspberry Ice all-in-one. This is going to be sativa leaning, the bright blue. I'm excited about this one. I'm always a fan of blue raspberry on any menu I ever see. And then moving on, we've got Peach Lemonade coming out in the Frosted Icicles, which is super exciting. And then I do have a bit of a sneak peek about the future of this. So we've got Sour Cherry out, the Ice Grape is out, the Peach Lemonade will be coming in May. We're going to have that Strawberry Pink as well as White Freeze coming for the summer. And then this summer, we're also going to be launching a variety pack, which I know always lands well with customers. So any questions there? We're doing okay. Pretty straightforward. Keeping up with the things that we're doing right, and we're just expanding on the flavors, basically. You know, like when we hit the nail on a product, it's like, okay, keep giving the people what they want. This one I am pumped about. Purple Diesel coming in the Liquid Diamond all-in-one. So that's exciting. This one will be coming in around 95%, similar to most of the Liquid Diamonds, which with the exception of the Pure Diamonds. But yeah, that is what is hot and new from Auxly. Anything else I would like to add? No, I feel like that's probably it for today. I will toss it back and see if anyone wants to hop on for any final comments, questions, or concerns.
I just wanted to say that I'm very excited for the addition of the diamond cartridges. That is so awesome to be able to get them in the actual cartridge format coming soon. So that is super awesome.
I am also pumped about that. It's like tricky because morally, all of these batteries coming out, you know, like we have to keep bumping them out because it's what consumers are looking for. But there's a part of me that just like also is like, buy a 510, you know? So super excited for that as well. Yeah, I know. It's like a moral complex, you know, for me, but I'm very excited. And the price point is like fire. Like I did a quick audit of the competition in that category, and we're coming in one of the lowest price points as well. I'm so excited for that. Yay.
Big win there.
Yeah.
I was also wondering for how would you compare the hemp papers on the new backpacks that are backpackers that are going to be coming out that are using the hemp papers? How would you compare those hemp papers in comparison to like any other papers that are used?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like in my I will speak about my personal experience in this because I haven't been given that much information on it, but my experience with sort of like the bleached paper is that it takes away, in my consumer experience, takes away from the flavor of the cannabis. Like I find that when I'm using hemp papers, even just like roll my own joints, I'm getting a lot more of an organic flavor profile. The bleached paper that our slims are in, I mean, some people just like love them. But for my preference personally, like I'm not a fan of the smoking the bleached papers. I find hemp to be a little bit more of an organic flavor experience. But I have heard that they burn at the same rate, so they're not going to burn any faster. They're not going to burn any slower. It just will really have an impact in terms of the actual flavor of the experience.
That's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have you seen sort of a trend of people talking about hemp paper? I feel like lately people are, I know Redican dropped some hemp papers. Are they being received well? Anyone have any notes on that?
I'm not sure if it might just be myself personally as well, but for the points that you brought forward in regards to the differences on the hemp papers, I'm not 100% the same way. I definitely prefer the hemp paper for those exact same reasons, to get all of the flavor. So I definitely look for that myself.
Yeah, excited to start seeing, and I'm like hearing it sort of like we've been watching a trend in the market as well, where like hemp papers are just sort of starting to take off. People are having a conversation about them. I'm so pumped that Auxly's jumping on the trend in a timely manner.
Totally, that's super awesome.
Yeah. Anyone else want to jump in? All right.
And that's wrapped this in-depth look at the Auxly product knowledge session presented by Kenzie Knott. It was fascinating to learn about the meticulous process behind their high-quality cannabis products. I hope you enjoyed this overview as much as I did. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Let's Talk Pot, and leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Stay tuned for more cannabis insights and product reviews coming your way. Until next time, keep the vibes high and knowledge flowing.